He ran outside the top 10 for most of the night. He went a lap down, twice. He had no business being anywhere near victory lane. And then one phone call from his crew chief changed everything. Not just the race, his entire 2026 season. And the moment he got out of that car and started crying, everyone watching understood exactly why. Let's go back a little because the win means nothing without knowing what Suarez was walking into at Charlotte. At the end of the 2025 season, Trackhouse Racing let him go. 5 years with that team. 2 Cup wins with them. Gone. Connor Zilisch, the young development driver Trackhouse had been grooming for years, took his seat. Suarez landed at Spire Motorsports in the number 7 Chevrolet. A solid team, but a smaller one. Nobody was picking Spire to go win crown jewel races in 2026. Before Sunday night, Suarez had not won a Cup Series race in 82 starts. That is a long time. That is a stretch long enough to make people wonder if a driver has lost it. He was on what the garage calls a prove-it deal. Every week he showed up, it was a reminder that his career needed something to point to. A resume with only 2 Cup wins and no ride at a top team is a short resume in this sport. He came to Charlotte without a single top 5 finish on the year. Now remember that, because what happens next matters a lot more once you understand how far from the front he was. Charlotte Motor Speedway on Sunday, May 24th, 2026 was not a normal race night. Not even close. Kyle Busch had died 3 days earlier. He was 41 years old. Pneumonia turned into sepsis, and it moved so fast that the sport barely had time to process it before the Coca-Cola 600 weekend arrived. His family attended. His wife Samantha, his son Brexton, and his brother Kurt all walked out to pit road for the pre-race ceremony. Every car in the field carried a number 8 decal. The front row seat in the driver's meeting was left empty. Bagpipes played Amazing Grace on pit road. When the race finally started, it was already carrying more weight than any 600-mile race should have to carry. The cars ran a missing man formation on the pace laps. By lap 8, Amazon Prime cut its broadcast audio completely silent. Tens of thousands of fans held up 8 fingers as the cars came through the tri-oval. It looked and felt like a funeral that happened to have race cars in it. Suarez knew what that night meant. He knew it before the green flag ever dropped, but what nobody knew yet was that he was about to be the one standing in victory lane when it was all over. The 600 was already chaotic before the weather ever became a factor. Tyler Reddick was dominant. He led 119 laps. Kyle Larson won Stage 1. Denny Hamlin won Stage 2. Christopher Bell won Stage 3. The fast cars were easy to spot, and Suarez's number 7 was not one of them. He suffered a vibration early in the race that cost him track position and dropped him a lap. He worked his way back. Then it happened again. A second vibration at a completely different point in the race. Down a lap. Again. Twice. In the same night, at one of the biggest races of the year, his car fought him, and he had to dig out of a hole that most drivers never climb out of. He was running around 13th or 14th through much of the night. The cars he needed to beat were far ahead of him, running clean laps on fresh tires, building an advantage he had no logical way to overcome. And then the lightning came. With about 45 laps left in the race, a caution came out for lightning in the area. The field came to pit road. This was the moment that the whole night turned on. Crew Chief Ryan Sparks made a call. 2 tires only. Right side tires, not 4. Every other contender around Suarez took 4 tires. Bell took 4. Hamlin took 4. The fast cars all took 4. 4 tires is almost always the right call because they give you more grip and more speed. 2 tires is a gamble. You stay out faster, you gain track position, but you are at a serious disadvantage on the restart because the drivers with 4 fresh tires are going to come. Sparks made the call and Suarez trusted it completely. When the pit stop cycled through, Suarez had gained 13 positions on pit road in 1 stop. The driver who had been running in the middle of the pack all night came off pit road as the race leader. Now the only question was whether he could hold it. On lap 360, Suarez led the field to green. 1 lap later, rain started falling on the track. The cars ran under caution while NASCAR monitored the conditions. The field pulled onto pit. rode briefly, and waited. This is where the night got even more strange. The race had survived lightning delays, wrecks, 2 vibrations, and 355 laps of hard racing. Now it was sitting still on pit road in the middle of the night, waiting for the sky to decide whether any of this was going to count. NASCAR gave it a chance. The race resumed on lap 370. Suarez lined up on the inside lane for the restart, with Christopher Bell right beside him on the outside. Bell had 4 fresh tires. He had speed. Everyone watching knew what Bell was going to try to do. What saved Suarez was Kyle Larson. Larson, a fellow Chevrolet driver, pushed Suarez off the restart. In NASCAR, the alliance between same manufacturer cars on restarts is real and it matters. Larson gave Suarez just enough of a push to clear Bell's Toyota almost immediately after the green flag. Bell could not get alongside him. Bell said after the race that he knew if he could not clear Suarez on that restart, it was going to be very hard. He was right. Suarez held the lane, held the lead, and held on. 3 laps after that restart, the rain came back. Hard this time. NASCAR red flagged the race. The cars slowed. The field bunched up behind the pace car, and then the announcement came. The Coca-Cola 600 was over, called due to weather with 27 laps still on the schedule. Suarez had led 17 laps total. All 17 of them were at the end when it counted. He had won. When Daniel Suárez climbed from his number 7 Chevrolet, and the reality of it hit him, he broke down. This was not just about breaking an 82-race winless drought. This was not just about proving something to the teams that had doubted him. This was about Kyle Busch. Suarez raced for Kyle Busch Motorsports earlier in his career. Busch was one of the people who gave him a real shot in NASCAR before he had built the resume to demand one. Busch told him what it took. Busch pushed him. And Suarez has been honest about the fact that without Kyle Busch, his path to the Cup Series looks completely different or maybe does not exist at all. On pit road, talking to the Amazon Prime broadcast, Suarez said exactly that. He said it had been a very tough week. He said Kyle was special. He said, if it wasn't for Kyle, I wasn't going to be an Xfinity champion. I wasn't going to have my shot in the Cup Series. Then he dedicated the win directly to the Busch family. This one is for Kyle, for Samantha, for Brexton, for Lennox, all his family. Kurt Busch had already placed white roses on the number 8 painted into the infield grass during the pre-race ceremony. Now, one of the drivers, Kyle Busch, had helped bring up through the sport, was standing in victory lane at Charlotte, the track Busch had won at more than anywhere else, on the night NASCAR honored his memory.